Now my nose itches because we're starting.
Of course. Who was I talking to about that before?
Probably me.
Oh, it was Angela. Like her
Hmm.
nose never itched. And then when she had makeup on, she all of a sudden was like, oh my gosh, I can't.
Yeah, all the peach fuzz on her nose.
Yes. But we are live on the interwebs.
Do they know we? Do they still know us
There
after
are
all this
five
time?
people watching us now. We only missed one episode.
Well, we've had
We missed like every other episode.
it's December.
Yeah, it is. It's
Everybody's got to be
insane.
forgiving in December because it's
Yeah,
been
it's been a month. I mean, you
yeah.
have just your regular like busyness of December, and then you have all the germs of December. And those
December's
two
been very
together have not
germy.
been very kind to either of us.
No, not at all.
But
Not at all.
so Chantel has got a bug now, but
I have strep.
she insisted that we get on anyway because she
Well,
needs her sewing time.
I needed to be down here and I got
Yes.
to kind of clean up my room. So that was huge. And I am really tired. And even if we only get to be here for an hour, I'm like, hey,
Not sure what
I
my
got,
sewing machine just did.
you forget how to sew? It's been a,
No, it's being naughty. I
ooh,
have
it
I
doesn't
have
need to be on
jeans
the nice
thread.
list anymore.
I have jeans thread in the bobbin. I think it's not happy about that.
That's probably likely. It
I
just
don't
had a hot
know.
moment.
It did. It seems to be working now, just noisily.
So tell everybody about the bugs that have been through your house recently.
We all had influenza A, and it Lily was patient zero, and I'm like 95% positive she picked it up at gymnastics. And I emailed and I was like, hey, there was like this family that was like super, everybody in the family was sick and like mound of tissues. Like, this is
Ew.
probably where we got it from. Could you just like do a reminder that, hey, if you're ill, stay home. We can do a makeup lesson because they do that. It's no big deal.
Yeah, don't be disgusting.
Yeah.
But
And they're
not in
like,
a nice way.
and they were like, we're sorry you feel that your child contracted this disease. And I'm just like, that just made me so mad because it's like that's like we're not like new family. We've been going there for 3 years
Ever.
now, every single week. Both of my kids have been through the program. And like it was horrible. Like I don't get sick time. And my husband, I had to send him away to use our hotel points so that he wouldn't get sick because the UPS driver can't get sick that at that time of year. And
It
the
was
amount of
cold and
money,
hungry there.
oh my God, he was fine. He was living my dream vacation. Is what he was doing. To have no responsibilities after work and just to like go home for 3 days and just quiet. That was fabulous. But he decided it felt more kind of like divorced dad lifestyle, and so he decided he'd not want that for his life, which is good, I suppose. But I'm just
He
like
took it the appropriate way then.
he did, but also I was just like so sick and like I had to go check him into the hotel because it was my like rewards points. And so I'm like as far away as I can from the staff, masked up, wearing this exact outfit actually. It's been cleaned since. And then I'm
Sure.
like and then I'm vomiting in the bushes like as I leave. And it's just, and he's like, "You gonna be okay?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like that night, my kids put themselves to bed. I was so sick. It was bad, very bad. But we just went down one after another, and it took a long time. Like my pediatrician, we went back for a recheck later, and we were like, it was like Friday, and we were the fifth kid by 10 a.m. that they had seen with fevers lasting longer than 5 days, and it was just like, I don't know, like the Quad Cities got hit bad apparently with
Yeah,
the flu.
we've all gotten
Yeah.
hit with something or whatever. It's supposedly strep because it's responding to the antibiotic.
Well,
Because,
that's good.
my doctors were all on vacation and the kids' doctors were all on vacation. But my husband was also on vacation and he just happens to be able to call in scripts. So,
Oh, well, that's good.
so
It's not
I
an
got
ethical issue to call an antibiotic in for you.
not a basic antibiotic for a family
No.
member. No, I
Oh,
mean
that's good.
opioids frowned upon, heavily
I would
frowned
imagine.
upon,
Yeah, that's
not
probably
allowed.
not a good
Yeah,
thing.
no, if you're calling in like amoxicillin,
Nobody cares.
that's not a problem. No, and he
That's
tries
good.
not to do it for the children because the dosage can be silly or
Yeah, you
whatever.
got to
But like
know. Yeah,
Penny had something, and then naturally John David got it immediately after,
of course.
and
Yeah, they
then
have to share.
naturally I got it immediately after, and I knew it was going to happen because
Yep.
Penny was like 5 days before Christmas, and JD was like 3 days before Christmas, and then I was like Christmas Day. Like
Lily,
I made it
yeah.
through the day, like the
On your
day part of
birthday.
it on my birthday.
Yes,
I
too.
made it through the day part of it, and I got to about 3 in the afternoon. I'm like, I just had to like, my skin is crawling. I am uncomfortable. I have a fever of 103.5, John.
I've
Like,
also had that in the last week, so I understand the feeling.
oh my gosh, that fever does not do great at this age.
No, it's not
Oh
fun.
no, I was so freaking uncomfortable. And then my throat was really, really, really gnarly and bad. So it's just the whole
I
situation
understand.
was
It's
so
not
bad.
pleasant.
And I went to bed and I went to get back up. And even John's like, you should go back to bed. I'm like, I'm fine. And I was not fine. I was dying. I had a man cold for the day yesterday,
A
you
man
know.
cold.
I
No,
mean, but
you
I was
had a
actually sick.
legit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then my husband told me, yesterday afternoon that he's like, I've been feeling sinusy too. And I'm like, I literally can't swallow water. I can't take my medicine without choking on my tongue.
One time I was at dinner at with Clothworks at Quilt Market,
Uh-huh.
and I was like week 3 of a cold, and everyone's like getting their after dinner like drinks and whatever, and I was like, "Do you have some tea?" And they were like making fun of me, and I was like, "I just like I start coughing when I drink like really cold things," and I'm on like week 3 of a cold. They're like, "We've been with you like the whole time," and I would have never suspected that. If you would have been a man, you would have been like blah blah blah. And
Oh
then
yeah.
one of the male reps was
Oh
like,
no.
no, they actually have done a study that, and he just got roasted. The rest of the dinner was so funny.
Oh my gosh, poor guy.
So
But at
funny.
the same time, he took it like a man cold, I'm sure. He went home and cried.
He maybe did.
He maybe did.
My
Oh,
sewing machine really does not like jeans thread in the bobbin.
do you have a different bobbin for it when you use a thick thread in the bottom? Like an embroidery
Just,
type thread? Do you have a different like
I think it's a
bobbin
generic
thingy?
bobbin, so I don't think that's helping anything.
Is yours
But
drop in or go in the front?
it
Drop in
drops.
this way?
I mean, like the stitching is fine. Like it's not going to be compromised. It's just
It just wants you to go
incredibly
slow.
noisy. Yes. But which is not, I wanted to kind of speed through this guy, but that's okay. But
I understand. Mine,
yeah.
like my Bernina has you can, or even my straight stitch, it's like you can adjust the tension on they don't suggest you do that on the Bernina, of course.
Yeah.
They're like, buy this special bobbin, you know, case for it, which I did because I'm not going to mess with the tension on my
No,
my
the machine
bobbin
like
case.
that, no.
No, but on like your straight stitches or on your big machines, like your long arms or whatever, it's really easy to mess with that tension.
Yeah.
But I imagine on those it's an automatic tension
I
thing,
think it is, yeah.
and it's just like, I don't wanna.
That is exactly what my sewing machine sounds like. Like it just
I'm like,
doesn't want to right
no,
now.
why do I have to? Which is
So
kind of
what are
how
you
I
working
feel
on?
about that's how I feel about all the projects that are in front of me right now. Cause I'm like, I don't want to. My big project this week has been trying to figure out my goals and stuff for next year for what I want to do and get done, and
Hmm.
like, you know, the New Year's stuff, but not in so much the resolution sort of way, but in the
Planning of projects.
what are my first couple months looking like? Because my biggest project months are always like January, February, March, and April
Hmm.
before the kids get out of school, before there's anything actually happening. Like those months are so dry. That's why we all quilt, right?
Yes,
For
there's
those
nothing to do
months,
outside, and
there's
so we
like,
quilt.
yeah. So, yeah, I've just kind of been trying to figure that out. I mean, obviously, I'll be doing my block of the month, which I am taking a much needed break from.
Yeah,
Thank God. I shouldn't say thank God. They're behind because a whole bunch of people got sick. There was a shipping issue, blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah.
thank God they're
It worked
behind.
out for
Not,
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
it really kind of worked out because I'm already behind and I don't want to get too behind. But then again,
yeah.
I already bought another quilt kit. So I don't know
Of
what I'm,
course you did.
it was on sale. It's actually a
Mid
much
a good
easier one to do
Midwesterner
for me.
cannot resist a sale.
Well, it's
We talked about
another,
this.
so it's another one of the it's Queen of Diamonds,
Okay,
which
yeah, I've
is
seen that one.
another one. But if you look at this complexity versus the complexity of the other one I had,
Very different
this
project.
this is a block. You do 2 blocks a month
Yeah,
of these. That's a very different level of complexity for me
for
than
sure.
doing all those kaleidoscopes that are just, I got,
All over the place.
yeah, like this stuff.
Yeah,
And I'm doing like 4 or more of these a month with outer pieces. This one turned out pretty cool though, right?
that is really cool. I love the birds and how that turned out.
So, I still have another layer that goes around this. And that stuff just takes
Takes
forever.
time.
Whereas this is a smaller quilt, thank the dear Lord.
Yeah.
And the amount of blocks that it takes per month is a lot less. So I think I might put the other one down for a bit and pick this one
Hmm.
up and kind of get my
Your Sojo back.
yeah, because I'm feeling a little beaten down. It's like that was it's not too hard, it's too much.
Yeah.
Whereas I think this would be the kind of thing that makes me feel like, yeah, I got this. I'm good. I get my rhythm back and I don't feel so overwhelmed because
I mean, we both have are in like what, year 7 of our Tulanova. I'm in year like 7 of my Tulanova.
oh, I'm on
And
like
you've been doing yours
4.
several years. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, the thing with the Tulanova is that now I know I could eat that thing alive based on how I've been eating this other one alive. But
Yeah.
I just need to kind of do something that's not going to mean that I don't get other things done. I got a couple
Hmm.
baby quilts to make this year. That's exciting.
That is exciting. Who's having babies?
One of John's coworkers and a cousin, possibly. We'll see. I mean, it's early, so we'll make sure that everything's good and going. We don't know too many
Yeah.
details, but still some baby quilts. And then I have um, maybe a quilt test to do, which should be fun. I like quilt tests because I'm given the pattern and they're like, make something beautiful out of that. And you're like, okay, I can do that. It's like somebody
Whatever you want.
rules.
Yes.
And they're like, here's your challenge. And you're like, oh, sweetheart, I love challenge. I
Yes.
can do that. But when nobody gives you the pattern to do, or nobody gives you the piece of fabric to like say make this into something, and you have to come up with the whole thing by yourself, you start to wonder, why am I cutting fabric apart and putting it back together?
I don't think I've felt that way. It's just more finding the time to get down here
You
that
don't
is the
think that all
challenge.
the time? Like, why did I just cut all this fabric apart to put it back together? Because I'm pretty
No.
sure I think that in the middle of every project.
I mostly am like, how am I going to find the time to get down here? And it's really messy right now and overwhelming to work in. So I need to deal with that at some
Yeah,
point.
she's like, this
But my
corner
children,
looks great.
my children need to go back to school. Basically, because of the sickness, my 2 week break got turned into a 3 week break. And I don't know why schools do this, but the Monday they go back that week, that's off too. So it's like you can't even be like, Yay, they go back to school Monday.
You
And
don't even get a full week. And then it's
I
going to be
know,
President's Day
I
and
know,
all
and
of the
all the
Martin Luther
things.
King and all
And then
of,
spring break comes and oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh, DKA Chad says the Christmas tree on Instagram is awesome, Chantel.
Oh, thank
She
you.
also wonders what I'm making. I am making a tourist tote bag.
We love those.
Because of our illness, our in-law Christmas got pushed back. And so I'm working on one with some Rifle Paper Company canvas and just some natural looking cork for the bottom. And that's going to be for my mother-in-law. So we're getting together Sunday for that. And they are going on a trip like right afterwards. And this is like the best trip bag. So
It's
I'm
a
making it
really good
without
bag.
interfacing, partly because I don't have any. And the other part because I want it to be like really foldable for her bag. Like
Well,
so
and
she
it's
can pack it in.
canvas. It's
Yeah, it's
not quilting
canvas.
cotton. So
Exactly. Yeah, I'm doing canvas and cork, so there's enough going on there to where I think it's going to be okay without it.
it
So
ends up
we'll
being
see.
double canvassed because you have
Hmm
the inside and the outside. So yeah, I think you'll be fine.
So we're gonna see. I cut everything beforehand because we know I don't do very well cutting live on the internet.
No,
And no, not
no,
well at all. I can cut like nobody's business when
you
it's just
can.
me. But if I am having a conversation or I'm live on the internet, it does not go very well for me. So I'm gonna see if I can get it done, start to finish, while I'm on the live. If
You've made enough of
Chantel,
them.
if Chantel can actually no, I have not. I had a team that made a lot of them.
Oh, really?
I've made, I know one, maybe
I've
not
made
more
more
than
than
that.
you.
Maybe you might have,
I think I've made like six of them.
but they're fast bags. I remember my very first one was 4 hours start to finish, and that was the first bag I'd ever made. So I had no idea what I was doing, no frame of reference for anything. And
You
I
had no
used it the
idea the
next
whole
day.
twitsy turny part where
Yeah.
you turn it inside out from itself and
Well, and I'm stitching that bottom done with thread.
oh
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
me
mess
too.
with that.
That,
But but yeah. But I think it's gonna be really pretty and
I love it.
they're going to the Dominican Republic, so it's gonna be like perfect for
I
down
want to
there, I
go on
think.
vacation.
I know. They're like that family that retires and goes to Florida
Oh,
for like an entire month out of the Midwest winter.
I love
And
that.
I know, right?
I want
It
to
would
be
be
that
fabulous. But
one day.
someday, you and me in retirement community, it'll be great.
Yep, done. Plan made.
Oh no, Chantel.
What'd you do?
I didn't sew the handles on first.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, whoopsie's right.
Undo. Control
Mm.
Z.
Or, or
Or handles. Well, design opportunity
that's what I'm thinking.
or design fail.
I'm thinking, um, we're just gonna have them go all the way around because I think I have enough extra to where I can cut one more 4 inch chunk, and that'll be fine. And then it'll go around the bottom too and be more sturdy.
Huh.
Good thing I know my mother-in-law doesn't watch any of this. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Let me
I
go get
mean,
the rest of my
clearly I
fabric.
got my full laugh back, so I'm
Well,
not
that's
doing
good.
too bad. I'm just a little worn out, but
I understand that.
you know,
I for Christmas, I normally like go all out on the cooking, all out. And this year, like we had scalloped potatoes from a box and corn from a can. And I
we
was like, this is what I
John
have
was
the
in
energy
charge
for,
of the
guys.
food. And you know what happened right beforehand? I was like, John, so you made ribs and you got the breakfast casseroles and all that stuff. That's great. I was like, what are we having for sides for these ribs for lunch for everybody who's here?
He didn't think about that, did he?
No, no.
Did you pull out
I
your
was
sweet
like,
potato mash
I,
for
I,
him?
I had to make so, and I'm not feeling good, but I'm trying not to show it to anybody because
Yeah.
we're actresses and we can handle this.
You just
And
pretend like you're fine,
I
right?
made I made like a cheesy hash brown casserole that I had already kind of planned on making, but I
Hmm.
forgot the cheesy part. I forgot to put the cheese in.
Oh no.
So we got
So
all the
just a
way
hash
to the
brown casserole.
it was just hash brown casserole, but it really wasn't because it was basically sour cream at that point.
It's okay.
And it was
I'm sure it was
not
still
good. So
lovely.
we had to melt the cheese and everything and melt it into it because it was like Velveeta and required like a hefty load of cheeses and stuff like that too. So it worked out, but that's basically been kind of funny because it turned out great. And then the only thing I've been able to eat the last couple days is that cheesy potato, whatever, because it was the only thing I could swallow.
That's really funny.
So, John's like, we
It worked
have
out for you.
ribs. And I'm like, can't talk.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. That's
It
funny.
was rough.
I just want everyone to know that you can be a professional quilter and still make mistakes, right?
You just
This is the
turn them
goal
into a
line.
design decision.
I know, right? This is all I'm doing. It's gonna be a design decision. We're gonna make it work. It'll be fine.
Great. Going to be an
Uh,
improvement, even.
well, I don't know about that.
Yep, it's fine. Ugh.
Oh, my sewing machine. I can never make jeans, I don't think. My sewing machine is not happy about it.
I can kind of hear it. It's not like I don't hear much of your sewing at all, but I can hear it kind of going.
It's like it's having trouble. It's protesting for sure, but
Yeah.
that's okay. I did get some pajama
Mhm.
pants done. I'm pretty sure my daughter is sleeping in a pair tonight,
Oh, well,
but
that's good.
yes.
I have a pillowcase kit over here that I'm kind of eyeballing that I'm thinking looks a lot better than this. And then I'm looking at my table like, this is my cutting table. If I'm going to make that, I got to clear this
And
entire table.
yeah, I was in that same boat and I had laundry all over the dining room table. And so
Ma'am,
I
how
went
many
out.
loads does this hold? It's a dining table. I'm aware.
I know, right? I mean, it's clean. It's getting folded.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get, yeah.
But we got, well, and that's the other thing. Our laundry, we, the repair guy suggested we go to gas because apparently it's like a quarter of the price to run a gas dryer than it is an electric. And we run a lot of laundry, and I thought that sounded like a good deal. So, anyway, but they won't hook up, like your normal big box store won't hook up a gas dryer. So we were going to have the repair guy come out so that we could have a gas dryer before, the new year. But then we were all sick and I didn't want to bring anyone else into the plague. And
A plague is right.
it was definitely the plague. And so it just kept going and go. And I was like, oh my God, I need the laundry. So now I'm finally catching up on all of that. But I don't know. I don't know if you ever feel like this because, like, I'm trying to work and now I have the kids home for 3 straight weeks. And, you're trying to make Christmas magical
It was
and
so magical.
and, and keep your house like looking decent enough for all the company that shows up around this time of year.
Yeah.
And I told my husband, I'm like, I just feel like I'm not doing anything well. Like I'm doing everything like a little
Like a
bit
strong mediocre.
but nothing really well. And I don't know if I'm sure it would have
That's
been a
why we
little better
prepare for the rat
if I wouldn't
race
have been
in
sick.
November.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, no good. No
Yeah.
good.
Yep. Feel that way. Definitely.
Yes, that was my thought as I was going through that.
Takes a lot of planning to get that to work out.
It's insane. Like the amount of pressure that
I'm like,
some of
I
it's just
feel
expected of
like
us, and some of it
death.
is also like put upon ourselves. Like it
Yeah.
could, we do probably more than we need to.
The
Let's be
stuffed
honest.
potatoes you made were probably fine. And
Yes.
mine getting cheese in them was probably not, you know. worth getting too stressed about. Although, he had one job. But
He had one job. Oh, goodness.
I just feed all the people that came over. It's fine. No sides. There was nothing.
Well, that happened when I was at your house this summer.
That's true, but that
Pinterest to
was
the
just
rescue.
us.
That's
Like,
true.
this was Grandma and Grandpa and Uncle Steve and Grandpa Dave and
Everybody's over.
yeah,
This happened. It was kind of funny. Um, we
I'm not
were
much of
all
a cook
there,
if you don't
and all of
know
a
that.
sudden, um, her
John made
husband
this
is like,
brisket, this
"Yeah, it was so
wonderful
good.
brisket, this
It was
big
so
piece of
good."
meat that's taken a long time and it's expensive and like
And like
worthy of side dishes.
maybe like 10 minutes before we're supposed to eat, he's like, can you figure out some sides?" And so like Pinterest to the rescue. And I was like, "What do you got?" And so we like plugged the recipes into Pinterest and came up with something that turned out pretty good. So it worked out.
It was still hilariously like, I told you
He was
so. I
he was
told you.
impressed, actually, I think, at
Oh
how it
yeah.
turned out.
No, he was impressed that happened and it turned out okay.
Yes.
So,
Donna has arrived.
Hi, babes. How are
Hello.
y'all?
Good, how are
hi.
you?
Long time no see.
I
I
know.
know.
Well, it's been a month, right?
I've been
How was your
busy.
holiday?
It's good. We're actually having Christmas tomorrow at my son's.
Okay.
Grandkids, both my kids are divorced, so the kids for Christmas were at their other parents. So
Yeah.
That's fine.
doing it tomorrow.
At least it was coordinated so that at least everyone can get together.
Well, yeah, sometimes it's a job, but
I'm sure.
they take care of it and say, okay, everybody should be here to this on this day. Say, okay, we'll see you. We'll see whoever's there that day.
I saw this funny like thing on social media where it was like a negotiation for holiday time.
Yeah.
And it was like people like about mine and Chantel's age on a conference call, but they're like in business attire and stuff. And they're like, "We're prepared to offer you 3 hours, each family 3 hours on Christmas Day." And then the parents are like, "Well, can't you offer us some more?" And they're like, "Nope, with the drive time and having some time for ourselves, that is the best we can do. And we cannot budge on that offer." It was just really entertaining because it felt very
It
reminiscent.
feels very much like that.
Yes. That's exactly how it felt. But
I told my kids there was a lot of things, that we could have done differently, but I said, you have to look at this. And this was back, I remember talking to them when they were, I don't know if they were junior high, maybe. And I said, but you look at it. I said, you're the only kids that don't have divorced parents. All of your friends, they're all come from divorce, all of them. And I said, you don't realize, sometimes there's some good things to that, but usually there's not very many. Having to
I mean,
sit,
I came from a divorced household and it helped me sort of figure out what I wanted a little better, I think. But at the same time,
yeah,
Stephanie
you
did
knew more
not.
what you want, what you need to
And
do.
we're both in the same boat with husband children.
Yeah.
Where
my
we're
husband
keeping them.
does not like that. I called him, I said it felt like I had a teenage son, and he did not like that. So that's something that you and I can say live on the internet, but apparently I cannot say it to him.
You cannot say it to him.
I cannot, no.
That's funny.
Well,
That hits.
there's a there's a lot to that. I don't know, since I wasn't my parents weren't divorced either, but I just saw, like a lot of kids, they have a lot of struggles. One of my sisters was divorced, and her kids, of course, they were super, super young. Well, one of them, like, it pretty much traumatized him his whole life, right? Because his parents, he wasn't with his dad anymore, and yeah, I'm just
But at the same time, it would have traumatized them too to see their parents in a relationship in which they hated each other and loathed each other and things like
Exactly.
that too.
Yeah. There were some bad things that were going on and it needed to happen, right? And so I totally get it. But usually it's the kids that suffer because of it.
Oh yeah.
That's any relationship, and that is the
It's hard.
holidays all together, right?
It is.
That is
And
trying to figure out who's going to be where and everything. That's just part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
my husband, he
I'm just
finally,
ready
I
to see them.
think, has figured out that he has to do his shopping in October because once like Thanksgiving hits, he works 6 days a week and his day off is Sunday. So if you're gonna like shop small, then which a lot of the stuff that I like, you are gonna find like at an antique shop. You're not gonna be able to do that on a Sunday. And it's just like,
My
so I think he
in-laws did
finally has
great.
figured that out. So we'll
My
see on next year.
my in-laws did great on figuring out this year what it was I wanted. They got me some antique cameras. And
Ooh,
my
that's
aunt
fun.
got antique sewing supplies and buttons and things like that from an estate sale. And I got some antique brass bookends. I was like, you nailed it, guys. You nailed it.
Exactly.
Because,
I
and then
know,
one of
right?
them got me a light up Christmas tree for my Christmas tree display. I was like, see, I'm not
It's
hard.
not even
I'm not hard to shop for. I'm hard to shop for
at the last minute. Yeah.
I'm actually like, you see this stuff all the time. It's just
Your camera's off, Chantel. I'm not sure
I
if you
know
know.
it's off. I'm
Okay.
cleaning off my table, and
Okay.
the bra isn't a part of the family today.
It's
I
all good.
divorced it. I divorced
It's
the
all
bra. I
good.
decided I'm gonna make this pillowcase. I've never made one, but
Ooh, very fun. Maybe we both will have projects we can finish on camera tonight.
see, I figure I need to get on a sewing machine. I haven't done that in a while.
It's been a minute. You've
Well,
been
when
peaky in your
last time I
hurry.
Finished
got
up
on one,
my 13th towel.
13th
tomorrow.
Oh my
towel.
gosh.
Oh,
Oh, you're
And
embroidering that?
beautiful.
I used the metallic thread. It's so pretty.
Is that for holiday gifts?
Yep.
What kind of
2 last minute ones.
what am I trying to say? Like interfacing, whatever did you use?
For the stabilizer or the
Yes, there we go. There's the word.
So this one is called hang on.
Because towels can be kind of funky. I know that.
Well, I used this is the so for the topper, so the stitches stay on top, which was pretty easy because I embroidered like in where this is, got a reset, it's reset.
Oh yeah.
It's not right on the terry part. But I used the this one is the Jenny Haskins. It's called Heat Magic, which I didn't even have to use the heat. Like after I got done stitching, I just tore it off. It just come right off. And then to hoop it, I hooped it in. This is the Floriani. It's called Stitch and Wash.
Okay.
But so it's also a fusible, but I did not fuse it either. I just cut it, put my fabric in there, and then tore it off. It tears off like toilet paper. And then anything that's like, there's a little bit of residue on the back, but when you wash it, all of that goes away.
Okay.
So all of that
will wash away, except for it'll just be the white bobbin thread and the little bit of the metallic thread that showed through on the back.
Your monogram.
My monogram is ass. And so I can never have embroidered towels because you wouldn't quite know what they're for if you see them.
Well, my husband only has his.
I think that's hilarious.
He doesn't.
It's really funny.
He doesn't have a middle initial, so if you do a monogram, it's like, what do you put in the middle? You just
well, it's like our married one. Like I didn't even. I found this
right
out. It was really
because
funny.
the way you're supposed to do a monogram is the center letter is technically your
the last name, yeah.
And then it's the middle name on one side, and
well, no, it's when you get married and you combine them, The
Mm-hmm.
man's name goes first, his first name,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's the married
Middle and
name,
then the
and
last.
then it's the female's name. And I was like looking at cakes with my mother, and I was asking this question. I'm like, ASS, and I'm not even thinking. And my mom goes, "You can't have ass on your cake." So that was a pretty good joke. My aunt who quilts, did a signature quilt blocks for my wedding for guests to sign, and I had Chantel has signed one, and she was there, and my
Forever
aunt
ago.
wrote my aunt wrote ass on it because I was right in the center of my quilt is ass, but can't have it on my towel.
That
Well, I
reminds
mean,
me.
unless
So
it's that towel. This is my
so
Now
ass
it
towel.
now
that
someone's got to figure it out
my
and send it to me as a
grandma,
gag gift.
my
Ass
grandma's
towel for my face.
my grandma's initials were MOS. So that was Moss. And then she married and it was Mob, MOB. And then she remarried it, or she was MO, let's see. It was Mop, MOP first. Her last name was Pinkston. And then when she married a Simpson, then it was Moss. And then she remarried a Brock and it was Mob. And I'm like, good grief. She just went from Mop, Moss, and Mob. And
She's like
mine,
every
mine just
rhyming
makes
word
no
ever.
sense. Mine just doesn't spell anything out. So that's good. I'm glad of that.
Well,
So
I
that's
didn't
good.
think about this. I have a very friendly child named Hazel, and my last name is Irish. So her initials on everything are high. Like at school, when she has to write her initials on everything, it's high.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It
funny.
actually works really great for her. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of cute because I didn't really think about that.
That's funny.
And then she has kind of a green eye. And so when her name is written out, it's Hazel, and then they make you do the last initial. So it's Hazel I.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I
well,
was doing
that worked out.
couple last minute things because I wasn't sure. Like my granddaughter's bringing her boyfriend, so I was making him a towel. Right? I was like, well, I don't want him to feel out. And then I thought, oh, and then my son's
Put ass on his. No, I'm just kidding.
would be mother-in-law if they got married. And I thought, oh, I better get her something. So I made her towel. And I grabbed a couple of stockings because I have extra stuff. I can make them stockings. So I grabbed some real quick at the store, but they have these letters on them, which are neither one are their initials. And I'm like, why are these initials on these stockings? Right. But I don't know what to do with them because I can't get them off. They're glued on. And if I glue them on and they're really cheap stockings, like, what can I do? Should I try and heat it up and see if I can get it off? Or should
I
I
would.
I could just make a little circle ornament and sew it on. It's just, I don't want to, it's late.
I would try to heat them up and pull it off.
I don't want to have to mess with it. I want to just get done.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about hurrying up and embroidering really quick their names on the top, which I can do that, but I don't want to waste time doing that if I can't get the letters off.
Well, I would definitely do the letters first then.
I got to figure out what I want to do here. But I was like, okay, how do you cover that up? Right? Like, how do I cover that?
You make a block and you quilt
Go over
it and
top.
put it over it.
I saw a lot of people who had made quilt block sweatshirts where they just like
I
stitched quilt
know.
block.
They're so cute too.
They
That
did
is
what?
cute. They
did
made a
what?
quilt block and then they just stitched it right over like a regular sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of had an idea to do it, but like with a star block, and then you like envelope the star and like stitch it on like from the wrong side, and then you can cut out the sweatshirt fleece so it can be like raw. I think that would be really cool. If you did like some Allison glass fabric and some like a magenta sweatshirt, I think that would be really neat.
I can see that.
Add this to the list of things that Stephanie would love to do, but it has
Yeah,
trouble finding the
of
time
all the
for.
things Stephanie's gonna do.
Yes.
That's like me. I've had this little kit. I bought it, I don't know, a couple years ago of these diamond dots. And for some reason, the night before last or whatever, I got it out and started playing with it. And it's like, because I need something else to do in my spare time, right?
I know, right?
Like, oh my gosh. But I had fun. I did 3 of the colors and I'll get back to it. And right now, I'm trying to get this done so I can finish up my Cluck and Crazy quilt because it's all done except for I got all the 16 blocks sewn together that go around the border. So they're ready to go on as a border, right? Like 3 and 3 and
Mm-hmm.
5 and 5 or whatever they are. Yeah, 5 and 5 at the top and bottom and 3 on each side. They're ready. And then it gets one more, just a 2.5-inch strip border around that. And then it's ready to quilt. Well, they sent me 8. It was a pre-cut kit and from Quilt Addiction, I think is who it's from. But anyway, they sent me 7 strips instead of 8. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to finish that until I can contact them, right? And get that
Get
other
some more
strip
stuff.
of fabric. Because you don't even have, because they pre-cut the stuff,
You don't have
which,
enough extra.
well, there's no extra. Like
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
And even though they said it was no cut, that's not true either because you had to make flying geese and make 2 at a time and half square triangles. It's like, well, you got to make those and cut those. And anyway, it wasn't what I thought. It took me 4 different sewing sessions just to get the month 1 out of 6 months, sewing. It took me 4 different sessions to get those done. And then the other 5, I finished in like 2 days. So finally got that all ready to go. I just decided
Took you a minute.
that I needed to embroider towels for Christmas presents. So.
We
Well,
always come up with the most random things at the last
my
minute.
husband was all about like, oh, well, let's just do what we did last year. That worked good. It's like, well, we just gave everybody money. And I don't like doing that. I mean, they probably like it as a gift, but it's like, I don't know. I just think it's a cop out, right? Like I like to, kind of make something or
Make something personal.
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to finish these stockings up and then I got to wrap 13 towels. I'm just going
That
to,
is what I would not be looking forward to.
I am not going to, put bows or anything. I'm just going to, cover them with, a square of paper. I bought paper on sale after Christmas stuff. That's one good thing about not having to do everything right at Christmas. You can get the sales after Christmas.
That's true.
That
I
is
think
nice.
about that.
I was also wanting to take my dog with me, but if I take my dog with him, I ain't going to have to give him a haircut and a bath. It's like, okay, it's already time for bed, right? I got all this stuff. It's like probably not going to happen. He's probably going to stay home tomorrow. He's kind of a mess.
That's okay. My dog is desperately due for a haircut as well. He's so fluffy at the moment.
That's one thing that at one point I said, I'll never buy another dog that I have to groom because I'd groom them myself. So it takes time, but I had the 2 cockers. And so to groom a cocker,
Oh, I know. I've
it's
done it.
time consuming, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
it would take me to groom 2 cockers. It took the whole day.
Yep.
Between bathing and cutting and then trying to cover up any mistake I made.
I apparently have 4 poodles, although one of them is far from a poodle.
One doesn't look like one at all.
Yeah.
Well, see, mine right now, he's a multi-poo, and I don't know. I mean, I've seen multi-poos, but I end up just kind of almost shaving him, right? Because I don't know what to do with all his hair. Like I don't know how to.
Yeah, that's basically.
I could make him look like a poodle, but that would look I don't know. I think he'd look kind of funny. So who knows? Whatever floats my boat, I either will or won't get it done tonight. I just take the.
I think you're not going to be on with us all night if you're going to be planning on doing that.
Yeah, well,
we're barely on with ourselves right now.
Oh, I mean,
I'm like making it, but
stitch me up with Laney Grace says she's thinking of getting 2 boxers, but I want to know if they can handle the responsibility of shampooing. Will be easy. It probably depends on the dog, honestly.
Well, he
With
doesn't.
me and the basset hounds, it's the shedding and then the nail clips because I don't feel comfortable enough to do the nail clips myself because there's like alligator claws, I feel like, with
Yeah.
those two.
I don't know of very many dogs that like to get their nails trimmed.
I have a dog that bites his nails.
No, you don't want that either, though.
No, I know, but
They'll
I'm just
scratch.
saying, never really have to take care of his nails. He just kind of he'll get his nails trimmed when he gets his haircuts, but he bites his nails. And the
Well,
vet
too,
said, you know what, that's okay.
if you take your dogs for walks on either concrete and stuff, they kind
Nobody's
of
taking
self
Cubby for a
trim.
walk.
They kind of self trim that way. But Biscuit is inside, and of course the outside dogs I trim them, but they've been really good. I've got two German shepherds and then a Rottweiler, and they all just lay there and let me cut. They don't want to. If they see me coming, right, they're like, "Oh, what she want?" But once I get a hold of them, they're fine. They're fine. Biscuit, he's kind of okay. He's still, I don't know. I call him still a puppy. He just turned 2, but he's been really good. I was surprised with him. So no trauma. I haven't clipped his nail too close, and that's the one thing.
I've done that.
Once you do it, the dog, they don't forget,
No, they don't.
and they don't
And
they don't
you
really
don't
like
forget
it anyway.
either.
Yeah, I
Like
don't.
I always feel real bad and it
I
freaks me
used to
out.
work at the vet's office, so I'm pretty good at it. But
Yeah.
it can still happen. But I like those regular like dog nail clippers, just your regular plain old nail clippers. I've found that if you don't put, usually they want you to put the nail in kind of like this, and then it comes up from the bottom and cuts it off. I've found that it's less pressure and cuts cleaner if you do it from the side. So I just kind of put that on the side of the nail and do it, and the dogs, they don't mind, and it clips right off. And that way I can see the underside of their nail, which is where you want to walk. You can
Yeah, you got to be
see
careful there.
you can see exactly where that nail bed starts if you're looking from the bottom side of their nail. So that's what I do. It works pretty good for me. But I think it causes a lot of pressure on the nail too when you use a dog, the regular dog clipper, the way they say to use it. I think it causes more stress. So I use it the other way.
We are getting more comments now that we're talking about dogs than any time before. Becky it's a pre-medicated dog the night before and the morning of.
Oh
It
my.
takes
I
three
feel
people
that.
to hold it down at the vet. Oh my gosh. I had a dog, we used to foster dog, and we had one called Cuddles because she was in heat and wanted some when she was rescued. And then once that was done, it became very clear that the dog had been through some serious trauma and ended up not being adoptable. And so we just had her till she died for like a year. But that dog was like Cujo at the vet. She was blind, she couldn't see anything, and
Oh my goodness.
she was not like, it was before we had kids. So we figured out how to deal with her, but like you could have never had a child around her, and taking her to the vet was awful. So like her name was just like so misleading. Dog.
And she
Oh
was
goodness.
blind. That's probably part of it, you think, because she couldn't
Well,
see.
she was living outside when they got her. She's a Cocker Spaniel. They said they took 3 pounds of hair off her ears alone.
Oh my gosh.
She was
Yeah.
so matted.
Yeah.
And
How
so
much?
3 pounds they said off her ears alone.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
insane. And so we had that dog for 6 months before she let me pet her belly. But she wanted to be in the bed with you at night. So she didn't want you to touch her belly, and you couldn't lift her up, and you had to figure out how to get her to bed. So I eventually figured out that there was a way to like grab her collar and boost her by the butt that she would be okay with. And then that dog would snore in my face all night long, happily, just living her best life. Yeah. But
It's funny.
she was she was hilarious. She
It
had,
was
oh
a
my
thing.
gosh. Her other senses of smell though, like made up for it. Like one time she found a like full rigor mortis squirrel in our backyard
Oh my gosh.
and was like so proud of herself and wanted to bring it in the house. And we're like, how are we gonna get this out of her mouth without getting bitten and whatever germs are on this
Or
squirrel?
in that, yeah.
Find
Yes,
something just as cool and stinky to trade it for.
I know, right? So it was it was interesting. This is how we spent our mid to late 20s is fostering dogs like Cuddle.
Cuddles. I had a hamster named Cuddles.
Yeah. And was
Yeah,
he cuddly?
I think everybody, yeah, actually, Cuddles was cuddly. I had one hamster that was very uncuddly, and my mom spent like a month trying to train it before Christmas so that it wouldn't bite me. Um,
I didn't
and
realize
then
you could
she fed it
train
a gram.
hamsters.
Well, she basically was handling it every day, multiple times a day to try to get it to not be so ferocious. It was like the last hamster at the store, you know?
Yeah.
And then
There
like
was a
three
reason
days
for that.
yeah. And then like 3 days after Christmas, she fed it a graham cracker and it died of like a, glucose,
Something.
whatever, you know, type death. And she
Oh, poor baby.
told me one day, many years later, how frustrated she was because she spent all that GD time trying to get that hamster to be nice. And then it died 3 days after Christmas.
Oh, goodness.
The things we do as parents.
I know, right? Up to and including. Oh my goodness.
Which I had a birthday, which means Stephanie's birthday's coming.
It is coming. The big 4-0 is coming
We're the same age for a little while.
for a
Happy
little bit.
birthday.
Thank you. It was
She
on
had
Christmas
birth
Day,
miss.
and I have birth miss, and
When
I
you
had
didn't text
strep
back,
throat.
I figured it was either insane or something was going on.
Yeah. Well, that was everybody. I had this like boatload of
You had a
texts
full
and
house.
messages
Yeah.
coming at me. Oh, I still can't stand up and feel okay when I stand up.
That's not
Um,
good.
yeah, I know. Not ideal. But yeah, I had
Well,
a
we don't need to
boatload of
go all night
messages.
tonight. That's for sure.
I'm okay for so far. I just need to not do stuff on the floor.
Apparently.
I'm going to try to make a pillowcase here.
You can do it.
Thank you.
That I've done a million times and can walk you through without screwing up. Unlike my silly self messing up the easiest bag pattern known to man.
Which I could probably walk you through because I think that's the pattern I've probably completed the most in my life.
Probably. I have a kit. I've got the Alice in Wonderland kit.
You're going to see me from
that we did.
behind, and my thing might be a little confused about it,
It might be.
but we will see what we end up with here.
I'm sure it'll be fabulous.
What are y'all working on?
I'm doing a bag for my mother-in-law. We're getting together Sunday.
Yeah.
And I am attempting my first pillowcase.
Pillowcases, I think, are fun.
Yeah. I like to do them in bulk.
Quickies, yeah. What do you call it? Streamline.
Yeah.
God, I love this machine.
All right. Now that I've done that wrong, where am I supposed to cut things out of? 3.5. Okay.
It's like our terrible cooking show. Now that we've done this
Gosh.
incorrectly.
Oh, goodness gracious. That was, I don't think we should attempt that again.
Once a
That
year.
was a hot mess. Oh my goodness. We were in rare form, Chantel.
I don't know if it was rare form, but we showed our form. And
Yeah, it
that
was something.
rare
It was
might not be the
something.
word for that.
Oh my goodness. We also had been baking literally for like 14 hours by that point.
So much baking. I promised everybody at the party that I made the cookies under supervision though. So
That's
they're
funny.
like, "Oh, you made them." I'm like, "Yes, under supervision of an Italian woman who very, very, very clearly knows what she's doing."
Yes. Angela made cookies from scratch. It was her first time doing it, doing the steps all herself. I was still there supervising all the things and I did the oven, but she was very proud of herself. Brought them all the Christmas day for everyone to sample. It was quite adorable.
That would be.
She's very proud of herself.
Well, I've
Don't
done
blame her.
cookies and stuff for cookie exchanges, but I've not like done like the whole day making 20 different
Cookie
kinds of
Palooza.
cookies and stuff. I've not done those.
Well, that's growing up, there was a cookie exchange between my mom, my grandma, my aunt. So they would each make like 2 to 3 kinds. And
Yeah.
so everyone would have like all the kinds. And I missed that because I like never lived near them. So I was never like really part of the cookie exchange. And now it's like not a thing anymore anyway. And so I have just been making all the cookies all by myself and then having all the cookies around to eat, which is not really great for me.
All by
And
Yeah,
myself.
that's one reason I don't do it, because I would be
so,
eating all the cookies.
yeah, so we got together and then we like split them up and it worked out well, I thought.
It did work out well.
Although we were out of cookies by the time Christmas came. So
We were not.
I'm
But
gonna need
our
to like
cookies didn't
freeze some next
handle.
time.
Yeah, our cookies didn't make it like well, like after
Like
the
they got
party.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to freeze them next year, I think.
Well, when
Pull 'em out.
you make them and if they get hard, you just put them in a container with a lid with a piece of bread, and they'll absorb the moisture from the bread and they won't be hard.
I didn't have time for that. They were like hard and it was,
I have heard about
you know
that.
what I mean? Yes, a different friend that also knows how to cook, because all my friends know how to cook. I don't choose friends that don't know how to cook. They're not my style, apparently. She told me that, yeah, they put a piece of like just plain bread. She said toast, but she's from Germany, so apparently toast means bread.
Yeah. It just has enough moisture the moisture leaves the bread and goes to the cookies. That's all.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yes.
We
My
had
so she does not please this moment.
I can hear it. It's like,
Well, I just refilled the bobbin, so it's like full again. Once it gets like halfway out, it seems happier with itself.
yeah, it has a man cold.
It does. Definitely does. That's funny. All right, now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna add this.
It's funny that it wouldn't like a full bobbin though.
Well, it's jeans thread. And I think that's what the problem
It's
is.
thick, yeah.
Yeah, it's just really thick. But it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
Yes.
It
It
can make it
always
through
ends
this
up.
project, I think.
Is that the same machine that made it through that project with what was it, the 2 layers of the Bossel?
Yes, it's the same machine. So if it can do that, it can manage. It'll be fine.
It just doesn't like bobbin work.
Just doesn't like a thick bobbin, apparently. That's its problem. Trying to figure out
Well,
what
I mean, if
side.
it could make that one bag, that machine can do anything.
I'm sure, yeah. Well, and I have an actual jeans needle one this time, so that'll be helpful too.
Yeah.
But got
I
out the
certainly learned a
cosplay
lot about
packaging.
needles and threads and things like that in the last 2 years, probably, I would say, have been
There we are.
where that education's come.
Yeah.
I started
Ooh.
toying around with the idea of getting a long arm or a mid arm or anything like that. You have to learn pretty quickly.
What the deal with thread is.
Yep. And tension and needles. And well, I have like part of a pillowcase, folks.
Ooh.
It was a
Look at you.
pillowcase kit that was like a panel. So look at how cute this is going to be. Is it going to give me time of day?
Ooh. That is
So
gonna
like
be fun.
when you have it all together,
Oh, that's adorable.
isn't that cute?
That's really cute.
Donna, see?
I like it.
Oh yeah.
Very adorable and
So
very
they,
pink, Christmas pink. So it's gonna look
I know
perfect
it's
for you.
Christmas pink and teal, so it can't be
I
bad.
no, I agree. That is
And
about
you
as good
got
as you
it
can
like
get.
as a kit? Because I've never seen a
Yeah.
pillowcase kit.
Oh yeah, they have these panels with a Stitch Supply Co. And they have their own little pattern or whatever that they send with it.
Yeah.
And they have panels that you buy the panel and it has the little pattern that comes with the panel. I don't want to hold it up too swiftly so that everybody can see how to do it or whatever. But it just comes with the panel. It's a basic burrito
Yeah.
Yeah.
pillowcase. But they have the printed panels. And I have two of them now because they came with their advent calendars, which are insane and beautiful and worth buying every year. But now, excuse me while I'm quiet as I try to figure out how to do the French seam part, which I'm pretty sure I know how to do, but I also know that I know better than to not read the pattern.
You're going to put it with the wrong sides together, and you're gonna stitch your 1/4 inch seam, and then you trim it to an 1/8 inch seam, and then you flip it wrong side out and stitch your 1/4 inch seam.
Yes, but I'm still going to read the paper that
It's
came
all
with
good.
it
You do
because
that.
I'm pretty yeah, that's what I was going to do too. But
You do that, but that is the way.
I forgot a part actually, so I'm glad I looked. They're like, you can go along and do like the little stitch right here to make that look nice. And I think I will do that instead of just leaving this. What did they call that? What did they call that? What did they call that? Blah, de blah, de blah. I don't know. They said that I could do a stay stitch on it or whatever. Not really a stay stitch, but
Yeah,
top
I know what
stitch
you mean.
along the trim fabric if I would like, which I think would actually look really nice. So I'm going to do it.
There you go.
Plus, I don't want
figure
that
this
thing
out.
flopping all over the place. I just took the time to make it.
Do you do, I'm trying to think. Did you do a flange on there or no?
Yeah.
That one, is that what they're saying to do a stay stitch on?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Yep.
It's worth it.
That's the part I was like,
It is worth it because then you don't have to iron your pillowcase every time it comes out of the wash. It just stays put.
Now, do you
Otherwise,
do
it's
it all the
annoying.
way from the like to the edge of where it so it looks like trim, or do you leave it
Here,
so it
turn
can
it
still flip
around.
up
Let me see. Because I sew it
from the loose
underneath.
edge or from the tight edge?
Is it already all the way in? Like you've
It's
already
all the
done
way in.
your
Yeah.
top?
Mhm.
Okay.
I was gonna do just along here. So basically, it doesn't want to like it could flip up. It's still a
Yeah. When I've done it, Stephanie B is the one who introduced this to me. I
she do
do
it
it
down over here.
before I do the burrito
Oh, okay.
because then it's invisible. It ends up being on the inside. If that makes sense.
Totally does. But it actually looks kind of cute.
Yeah. Oh, where am I supposed to be? not right there.
That's cute. Yeah, just a little something to make it stay.
Yeah, that's definitely worth it. For sure. All right. Pin here. Oh, I probably should have measured the length of this thing before I got going. That would have been smart of me. Why would I do smart things though? You know? Clearly, I'm not doing anything smart on this whole project. Okay.
Yeah, where's Stephanie B to ask her what she would do for this right here?
You're just gonna see it at this point, whatever
Oh
you
no,
do.
I already had it connected.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the.
Yeah, but where she does it before you even do the, like, what do you call it? The burrito thing.
I think the
Does that make
point of
sense?
this was, yeah, the point of this was so that you would see it,
Yeah. And that's fine
like
too.
decoratively. We're going with that because it's kind of cute, actually, just to have a little
It's all
stitch
good.
along the side.
These are all design choices, and you can decide to do whatever you want to do with your project.
Oops. Now let's hope I didn't do something weird on the other side. Nope, I didn't. Wow, lucky day.
All right. I have now actually found my centers and can restart what I was just doing. Oh, I should not be trusted with things.
Not
See,
online.
what you guys don't know is that I screwed up a ton on those videos, and then we would just edit it out and put it in a blooper reel eventually. So I have screwed up many a bad
Like the whole
project
thing was a
in my
blooper
day.
reel, and then we basically made a positive reel out of it.
That has happened. I will own up to that for sure.
Okay.
All right. I'm happy with this
For the
placement now,
corner on
finally.
this, Stephanie, do
Mhm.
I just stop and turn, or do I just go all the way across and I go,
I go all the way across and then I cross my threads
okay,
again. Does that make sense?
yep.
Okay. Good deal.
I'm going to start up here because this is where I care where it matches. So what are your project goals for this year? You didn't,
Me?
yeah.
I want to get back on my temperature blanket with crochet
You're just going to switch to a new
because
year, or are you doing
no, I'm
last?
going to keep going because then I can just do it whenever. Um, I feel like it. Because that's something that, like, with the amount of thread you have to change, it's almost easier to do it like when you have like an hour to sit down and do it rather than a little bit each day.
Yeah,
Um, I think. But I don't have the stamina to be able to do like my sister can do like a whole week or whatever in a day. And I cannot do it. My body physically does not like to do that with my wrists. So, I like to do a little bit here and there, but I don't want to go nutso with it. I want to get back into putting out lots of regular content, which I felt like I was absolutely going to do that. And then, Nutcracker and being sick and, life got in
December.
the way. Yeah. So,
Basic
um,
December.
yeah, basically the month of December, it happened. And so I want to get back to all that, but I don't want to do it like I used to, where I'm like making a whole quilt a month. Like that was too much, and not really sustainable when you don't have like support of a team to do it. So
Right.
I want to focus more on like tutorial type things. Like I want to do a sew along, um, toward the beginning of the year with
Gwendolyn, you're
Gertrude.
not here, but you heard it here.
It did. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna actually do it. So I need time to film, which is challenging when you have two children that are either watching SpongeBob SquarePants very loud or yelling at each other, and there isn't a whole lot of anything else that's going on. Um, I need them back at school because then I can multitask much better and get done what I need to get done for like work and then do that. And then I had to push a couple meetings um from being sick, but I might be doing some more collaboration type things coming up. So that'll be kind of fun, but that's the details are to be determined with that. So that's kind of, I don't know.
She's
I
got
would like to,
goals.
I have goals. I don't have project goals per se. I would like to make some significant progress on Chula Nova. I feel like I did a real good job with that this year. I would love to be at a point where I'm like getting it together maybe this year.
I bet you could.
Um, I want to do more quilting on the long arm for sure. Because I have a few things that are like ready to go, but like I want to treat them special. Like my New York Beauty Christmas quilt, for example.
Yeah.
Um, and um, just some other things, but I have a few things that I need to get done quickly, for work stuff. But I just want to enjoy the process, you know.
That's a good
I want
one.
to, that's more what I want to do. I want to enjoy what I'm doing and not just do it because I feel like I have to do it in order to make money. Like, I
Hmm.
want to
It
enjoy
becomes a
myself.
job if you don't enjoy it, right?
I
Like,
mean, it has been a job for me for a really long time, but it's different. It was always like the best part of my job
yeah,
was doing that, but I just don't have the ability anymore to like take a week to crank out a quilt.
right.
I can't do that because I have other life responsibilities and it's not my main job anymore. So, there's got to be a different way to make it work. So that's kind of what I'm figuring out with myself. But
I was playing Bob and Chicken. I didn't even know it. It's still pretty good, but I saw the tension going and I stopped before I did the last thing and I totally would have lost.
well, you were lucky then.
That's all I had left. I would have lost.
You lost.
Now I have to look at the thing and figure out how to do this because I don't remember how to do this. The operation manual.
If anybody is sewing with jeans thread in the bobbin and it's misbehaving, if you pull the bobbin thread to the top, it behaves a lot better, I've discovered. So you have to do it like you're doing a quilt, I guess. Otherwise, it just kind of wanted to start it off with a giant thread nest, which is not good. Don't want that.
I don't want to read the words on this. Ugh, so annoying.
Do you want to show me and I can tell you the words?
Let me show you.
No.
That I've done so many times. It's pretty hard for me to mess up. It would not be like this
You know what I
situation
mean
where I'm
though?
like,
Like there's tons of pictures here and it's like it's still not annoying. Okay, but I will read the words.
yeah,
Bad girl. There we go.
yeah, you're just an ADHD girl.
I know. Can't help it.
That's just how your brain works. Nothing wrong with it.
I have to read the words again. So annoying. Okay. Pass through there.
I might actually at least get the outside of this bag done. Ooh, we have people joining from Australia.
Cool. Fun.
Hello, Crate and Craft. With Christine and Susan Euro just joined, and Twyla just joined. This must be our West Coast people.
Who knows? They know. They're like, we know
They
where
do
we're from.
know. Where are you guys from? What time is it where you're at?
It is
It is.
10:44 in outside of San
Texas.
Antonio, Texas.
I figured. Yeah, you're
My
central
clock
too.
is wrong, so it is also. Don't look at my clock as the.
My daughter got a Bluey watch for Christmas, and she's hilarious because she would tell me every time it turned to a new minute. And I was like, oh, yeah, really? Okay. That's how time works.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Central Washington State. So, yeah, West Coast. It's a reasonable hour of the evening there.
That's
Where?
true.
Central Washington State, Northern California. And we have a Colorado at 9:45. Let's see. It's 3:45 on Saturday afternoon in Australia. So she is in the future.
Ooh, member from the future.
Yeah.
Love that.
You're visiting us from the future. I love it.
Tell us, what are the lotto numbers for tomorrow?
I know, right?
And what is the temperature where you are? It is currently 59 degrees where I am. It was 80 something degrees today here.
Oh my gosh. It has been like
Yuck.
40 and rainy here all week. I'm so over it.
I'll bet.
This
Well,
is
I don't know.
not the weather we normally have at Christmas.
We
Normally
need
we get some snow.
some rain. We need rain. Always some rain. Somehow or another, the rain just skips our area a lot, and so we stay in a drought all the time.
Yeah. Ooh, we have people in Tennessee. We got Sue Cortez in Mexico. 39 degrees Celsius 2 days ago, but you're in the summertime and it's like double. That's like double what it is here, I think. Celsius is because that's warm, right? That's like summer weather.
Yeah.
I'm not worldly enough to know things.
To know things. Yeah, that would have been
It's
a me
like
question, but I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
it's like all of the United States just does its own thing and says forget it. That's 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's hot.
Ouch. Your weather
I'll
hurts my
take
feelings.
like 20 degrees of that. I don't like 50-degree weather. That annoys me.
Well, I love 50.
Oh no, I broke my thread. That sucks.
Nope, I broke mine too.
Did you ever fix the timing on your quilting machine?
Nope. Did he
Did
ever
Tim
get a
ever
hold
call
of
you
me?
back?
Nope.
I will get on his butt tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be like just over 2 weeks.
Well, that's annoying.
Or just about 2 weeks.
What happened? It just went out of time, or something?
Oh
happened?
no, it is a me problem. Hi, I
She
did
broke
that.
a needle.
I broke a needle on it and
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what a machine does when it's out of time.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So it's actually a fun thing to pay attention to, but like the way a hook works, you know how the back of the needle has a little dip
Well,
in
yeah.
it? It's
I
called the
knew that,
scarf.
but what do the stitches look like?
There are no stitches. It can't.
Oh.
Mine's at the point it can't even pick up the
Yeah, that would be
thread.
frustrating.
Yeah.
That would be really
I can't
frustrating.
get anything. So That is where we're
Yeah.
at with mine.
Yeah, I think you need Tim.
Hmm.
You might need to bring it in,
Oh,
which I said, no, not what you want to hear.
I know, but I'll do it if I have to, because
We can
I'll
have
pay him to
lunch.
come here. It's like I'm gonna start going to the guild meetings so I can find out who can come and fix my machine.
There you go. The guy who would actually fix it, um, he works out of the Davenport store, I think, exclusively. Why are you being weird? My machine is also not super happy at the moment. And I do have backups.
Mine is not super happy right now either. Again, what's up with this?
There we go. I've at least connected with the bottom this time. Progress. Like sewing machines are absolutely fabulous until they don't do what you would like them to do.
95% of the time when they don't do, oh yeah, like you have to have it threaded correctly, for example. Like not try to use it straight from the bobbin winder, Chantel.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
Whoopsie. That'll do it.
Eh, problem solved. Here I am, so techie.
I think I started this way back further than I needed to. I think this might be a sign that maybe we have run long. Oh, goodness.
Oh my God. Sometimes it's hard to do things and talk. That's
That too. I would really love to get my outside bag body sewn together because, like, lining, that's cake, right? I can do that.
that's like a plastic surgery bag. My outside bag body fixed, what you said, or done. It was like, yeah, I could get my outside bag body done too.
You mean like your
Yeah,
body
my
body?
outside bag body. Yeah.
That
You're
bag
like,
body.
I could stand to get my outside bag body
I
done.
mean that
And I'm
too.
like, me too. I'm like, oh yes, we're in a sewing right now.
I have been walking this week. I've been doing good things.
How
So,
are more of your goals that related then for the
yeah,
year?
I would like to lose like 10 pounds a month
Good luck.
without
Not in a
like,
bad way, but like I hope it for you. Because
yes,
I know that it would be like
it would be
it would
very
mean a
nice.
lot to you.
It would mean a lot, but like without, like my in-laws would like to pay for semi-glutide for me, but I feel like if I do that, that I will go off it eventually and gain the weight back. Like I feel like I need to make
Okay,
major
as a
lifestyle
person
changes.
who is diabetic and uses medications and things like that because of that, and is one has had to use that medication.
But you have to use it like for life.
Yes, but they're getting where you need to be and then working your way there doing both. By the time you get where you want to be, you're willing to work harder to keep what you've got. Does that make sense?
It
Like,
does, but I've gone up and down with weight in my life a lot. And
so much.
I don't know.
But there's
And
something about being willing to like work for it when you have it versus work for it when you don't.
yeah,
It's just
but I know I need to like make major changes. Major changes. And so like I've walked multiple days this week and my daughter's come with me because there's like been no other choice. Um so that's been fun.
those are the
And
things that you can still do at the same time.
Exactly. Like I can't go swim because, she'll drown probably if she does swimming that I want to do. And but
I
but
mean,
yeah, we've
it's
gone
stuff
to
that
the
you can do
gym.
as the same time as medication
Yeah.
and see the benefit of it. And then as you taper back, you can become more aware of it. For a lot of people, it just kills cravings. It's not, you know, and those are a
To
little
me,
easier to avoid, like
here's
wanting to eat too much when you look better. And trust me, as a person who's had to go without their medication for several weeks because they can't get it for you, it it is a lot easier to hold back when you're like, but I won't look cute like this anymore in your head.
so in my brain, I don't feel like I'm eating because I'm hungry or that I'm craving food. I eat mostly because I'm bored or as a coping mechanism. So how I don't know how that would even work with that.
John said there was a study done recently where they were, God, what was it? I got to think of exactly how it was, but like they're they're giving it to other types of situations as a way of like cutting back
Hmm.
on things that you do out of boredom and
Yeah.
such. So I can't remember if it was cocaine. I think
Oh my gosh.
that they're like
Yeah,
people
that's
just
I'm not that. That's not what I do
no, but you
anymore.
know what I mean. Like it's like they're doing it out of a lot of different reasons, and I can't remember what some of the other reasons that they're testing this out on people are. But
Yeah.
There's a lot
um,
of medications that are multifunctional for sure.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, Viagra originally was released as a medication for heart issues, and they found it had a very troubling but beneficial
To the male.
um, to the
Side
male
effect.
figure, to the right person um, outcome. And so they just turned their marketing right around. But my Chihuahua, who was having heart issues, was prescribed Viagra 3 times a day, which was just
Oh my gosh.
hilarious when our credit card was compromised 3 separate
That's funny.
times. And John had to call them and say, because it was shady Canadian Viagra, so
Yeah.
that we could get it at a cheaper price. And he had to call them and they were like, how is that working for your dog? Does your dog feel better?
That's
Your
funny.
dog, does your dog feel like the side effects are minimal? And at this point he's like, it really is for my dog. They're like, oh yes, oh yes.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
That's funny.
Because apparently the dosage that the dog was on multiplied, that many times a day, considering, it was a good, I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah, how is it for your dog? John's telling me this, and it's like, oh my God, I'm here for this.
He probably was really enjoying that conversation.
Oh my gosh. And he had to do it like 2 or 3 times.
I sent Chantel a cookie decorating of a deer, like a reindeer that had buckshot in it. And I was like, you need to send this to John because this is the type of thing John would enjoy
Yeah.
thoroughly. Oh, he wanted me to make chocolate covered pretzels that look like cigars complete with ash.
Yeah.
in
Next
the
year,
cookie
next
dough.
year, sweetheart.
Oh, it's so funny. Confuse the children.
Like, you got to make these requests more than 10 minutes in advance.
I know we need different colored chocolate for these things.
Good at giving 10 minutes advance notice of things that he wants.
It was a fun idea.
Well, I mean, he gave you 10 minutes advance notice. It was a challenge the time before for your side.
I said, what do you got? We'll make it work. And we did. Worked out quite well.
Oops.
Ugh. This is not my favorite way of putting bag handles on. I 100% understand why this is not the way it was done in the pattern.
Going all the way through the bottom.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I have to go like super slow because of my thread choice, but it looks fantastic with the fabric I chose and the
Good.
cork.
Because,
It just is,
you
that's what
chose
matters in the
that
end, right?
lifestyle now.
Yes, that's what matters in the end. That looks good. Maybe next week I'll do the Alice for me finally.
Ooh,
And
that's a
then
good idea.
because my tourist tote is like seen so many better days. I'm pretty sure I've had it since Angela was like 4.
It's some pretty cool old Ruby Star, though. I mean, it was back when it was
It
cotton
is,
and
yeah.
steel,
Yeah.
and it's melody, so it's probably worth something.
I mean, it's
Not in
beat
the
up.
state it's in, but like if you
No,
found
if I
if you
found the
found
fabric.
any of that, yeah.
I have like a 3-yard cut. I have a couple cuts of it still of the original, but
We should fill tins instead of cookies with like fat quarters of our favorite like stash that we have over like 2 yards of.
yeah, for each other.
Or just regular quarters and just fill them, roll them up into little tins and give them to each other like cookies. That's my kind of baking.
That is a really good kind of baking. That could be, we could do a fabric exchange that way next year.
We're doing it like cookies.
There you go. Sounds like a plan. You get some vintage Chula out of me.
Yep. And some of that.
Yeah.
Whatever you have enough yardage of to actually be able to cut, though. I mean, that's the key there.
All right. I have done all my top stitching. I'm feeling very accomplished at the moment. Because I was not sure I was going to make it when the straps were giving me problems. All right, that's nice and even. Oh, good deal. This is going to work after all. Don't you hate it when you're like in the middle of your project and you're like, I really don't know that I know.
I
This
don't
is
know
gonna
if I
go.
know what I'm doing. Yeah. I
I
don't
know, I
know if
may have
I
totally messed this whole thing up. But,
made my first pillowcase, folks.
ooh, let's see. Oh, it's our pretty. I love it.
Yep, it's two-sided too. So it's,
I like it.
yeah. I love it. I did it.
Are you hooked? Are you
I'm gonna
hooked now?
sleep on it. Sorry, that was a bad joke.
It was a bad joke,
Love
but
it.
it was
I'm
pretty
gonna
funny.
sleep on it. Yeah. Tell you tomorrow.
Oh, goodness.
You're getting pressed once, pillowcase.
Yeah,
And
that
the
one
rest
and
of the
only time.
times, Godspeed. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Pretty much. Oh, goodness. I think
Little
this is
machine.
gonna work. It's trying so hard. You're not even hearing like
The half of it, I
what
know.
it's truly like because of the headphones. The fact that you can hear it struggling with the denim thread. It's not even the fabric, it's the denim
It
thread.
sounds like a swing set or something coming, like a ceiling fan
Oh, that didn't like
to
it.
us.
Oh, goodness.
I'm going to go find a pillow to put this on.
Of course, we have to see it in all its glory.
See if I can find one. I can always
So
find
are
one
you hooked
without a
now?
pillow.
Do you think you're
Yeah,
going to be like
yeah,
making
this
many
was
more of
easy.
these to come?
Yeah, it's too bad I started today and not, 5 days ago.
It's okay. Christmas can live on for a little while longer.
Indeed. Well said.
Although I'm ready for my tree to come down.
Almost there.
How long does it take you to take down all your trees?
It takes, well, I mean, it's like a couple day process to take everything
Yeah.
down. It takes more time than I'd like to admit. But at that point, it's usually like it's easier to take it down than it is to put it up.
Yeah,
Got that going for us.
that's it.
So I would say that big tree takes a good part of a morning, probably a day just taking down trees.
Yeah.
Okay, I found a pillow.
Oh
It's in
my
its
gosh.
case.
That is absolutely adorable.
Oh, that's very cute.
It wants me
I
in
love
it.
it.
So, oh yeah, show my. Here we go.
I like
Hi.
the tree on it. It's very cute. Very
Yeah,
cute tree.
It's very Chantel.
It
Chantel's
is.
trees are very,
That's very much what my tree would look like if I drew it. My camera is getting very upset. It's like, where are you? Stop moving.
That's funny.
Stop being everywhere.
Ugh.
I know I have another one to do too. Might as well do it.
Might as well. Now that you're on a roll.
Now that you know how.
Well, now that I know how, it's the time is hot. Where does it go? Where did it
To
go?
go very quickly. So have y'all used the little trick I was telling y'all about sharpening your pen or scissors or
Your needle.
Yes.
I have not since that one time. But I have also not been doing a lot of sewing with my hands lately.
I use it all the time when I'm quilting because, you'll go to pin a, because you need a seam to meet up or whatever. And you go to put the pin in and it just kind of hesitates a little. It's like, okay, sharpen that baby.
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought about that later. I was like, I didn't even think about y'all.
That was really funny, actually, the way that.
But it works.
all
Well,
came
and then
together.
the screams of all of us sticking needles in our hair is just like hilarious. I need to
More
make like
like
a highlight
very
reel out
normal,
of that.
yeah.
It was hilarious.
So guess what we're doing?
Oh, they would assume we all have been drinking heavily while we were sewing, probably.
Right.
I
Oh,
don't
goodness.
I don't even drink. Yeah, I
I
don't.
know. But the way we all were just like putting it in our hair and laughing about it, it's just really entertaining.
But it works.
It does
That's
work.
all that counts. It works. All right. So the two stockings are embroidered. Now I
Did you
decided
try to take
one
that
of
stuff
one of
off
them I
yet?
got all the glue off without messing up the stocking. The other one I put a little snowflake on it.
Well, there you go.
So
That'll
I'm going
work.
to stitch that down, but I got the names on them now. They're ready to. I'm going to stitch the little stitch around the little snowflake I made. It was just a piece of felt had some adhesive on the back, so I'm going to iron it just a hair, and then I'm going to sew that down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be ready to stitch the stockings together so I can go fill those last two up, and then I'll be ready to wrap some towels.
And then you'll be ready to groom your dog.
After the
Oh my
towel.
gosh.
Well, I thought about not even wrapping the towels, right? I got them in a box and they're all folded nice and pretty. But I bought extra paper and it's like, I think, so I just need to measure out the paper for one and then cut them all. And then, because I'm not going to do anything fancy. I just want to cover them. So
Oh, this is going to be cute.
I can't find my other pillowcase kit, which is kind of funny.
You'd think it would be with that one.
Well,
So
I didn't buy them together.
I got my bag. It is definitely floppier without the extra interfacing in there. I feel like it'll be very foldable and malleable for like throwing your stuff and going to the beach. Yeah, it's an old Rifle Paper Company one.
Beautiful.
And had it forever. But it'll be a bag for my mother-in-law.
She's gonna love it.
Hopefully. I know she likes it when she has stuff that I made for her. But it's so much like if you've ever made a tourist toe, like like it does not do that floppy flop. But
Mm-mm.
but
It's not a floppy flop type.
but I think this will work because it's got your nice sturdy bottom, and then she'll still be able to fold it down for like the plane.
That makes sense. I think it's really good. I
I
like
think
it.
it'll be work. I wish
I
I
like
would
the
have.
I like the straps under the bottom.
I do too. It was a pain in the butt. But it looks
I
good.
like it too, but never again.
I know. I feel like I'm wondering if I still want to add some feasible to this because I still could.
Mm,
What do you want to thinking about adding?
Some decor bond. By the time I realized I didn't have any, it was like late in the day. It's too late to go get it.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine too.
What else could you do besides that to like just to line maybe just the front
Well,
and the
there'll be a
back?
lining. There'll be a lining. I
There's
just haven't
another
got
layer
there
of
yet.
canvas.
No, I mean like to for the stability of it. Just to put on the front and the back. You wouldn't even have
You
to
could
have
quilt the inside, but that sounds like a lot of work.
That's a lot of effort, and it's already all
I know.
together.
I knew you wouldn't like that answer, so you would go with your first one.
I would, yes.
what you do is when you gift it, you have it something in it. So it stands up. And then then don't worry about it.
My
Right?
father-in-law is getting a bunch of whiskey, so we can just fill
There we
that.
go. Just fill it with whiskey.
Fill it with whiskey.
I
Is
don't
this for
think
both of
I
you?
still don't think
Nobody's gonna complain.
I don't think
Yes.
it would stand up if you did that. Yeah. I don't think that would help it stand up.
That's funny.
Yeah, that makes me fall down.
Make everybody included fall down.
All right. I'm definitely taking this thread out for now because we need something else for lining.
Me wondering where in the world I could have put that pillowcase kit, except under this never-ending tunnel of shame underneath the long arm that I don't really feel like digging in.
I
Oh, woe
saw
is me.
a rolling cabinet at Costco today that it did not have its measurements on it. Otherwise, it might have ended up coming home with me. As it was absolutely the perfect, like, under long arm thing, but I wasn't sure if it was like too tall.
Somebody posted that they ordered a thing on Costco that was an actual cutting table today.
Yeah, I saw something like that. They had oh, what do you call
It
it?
was like on sale for like $60 or something like that.
Yeah, they had some really good stuff today. I mean, I had 2 hours to kill, and I probably shouldn't have killed it in Costco, but you know, it is what it is.
I understand that one. I'm just not
And
allowed to go to Costco.
so I was
People
in there for a
just
while.
don't. And it's like an addict. Like I just can't go in there.
It's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. Don't go in there, Chantal. You will indeed buy everything.
I was very restrained. I only got things we actually needed. I felt very proud of myself.
I feel like you earned an applause for that. That's
I should.
amazing.
It is very
haven't
challenging.
been in there probably all year.
I do not like to shop. I like shopping
Me either.
online. I don't like physically going in somewhere and shopping.
Yeah.
Not usually. Not usually. Quilt shops kind of, yeah, but
That's
other
different.
things not so much.
Quilt shops are the shops.
That's
to
a
go
given,
to.
You basically keep the Costco membership for the gas and the dog food.
Yeah.
My husband does the Costco. So
But
when you're losing me fast, I'm bending over here and I'm realizing
getting
that every
tired.
time I stand up that my head is still throbbing from being
well,
sick.
we can end at any point. You do not need
time
to
is it?
soldier on. It is 11:15.
Oh,
You did
pretty
quite well.
fine. We made it. I'm here.
Totally respectable.
I look ridiculous. I finished a project.
You
So
did.
Woohoo!
I finished the outside of a project.
Hooray!
I'm happy
it's a
with that.
bag though. I
I
mean, it looks
finished
like a
some
bag.
cows. I
It
finished
does
my
look like bag.
cows.
You all did
We
good.
all did good things today. I feel like we can absolutely call it a night and feel good about ourselves.
I'm gonna go sleep on my pillowcase.
Enjoy.
Y'all have a good
So
night.
long, guys.
All
See you
right.
next year.
Happy New Year, everyone. We will see you in 2025.
Bye.
Happy sewing.
Okay.
Bye.